Saint Carlos Acutis said, to criticize the church is to criticize to ourselves. The church is a dispenser of treasures for our salvation. You know that the church, the Catholic Church, is so important. We're the mystical body of Christ. And it's so important to pray for the church, to help our priests, to help our bishops, to pray for the Pope, to help when we can, because at the end, we need the priest to have the Eucharist. We need the priest for confessions. Of course, God is not bound by sacraments. What sacraments are the best way? So, and also the church has so many treasures. For example, each saint is a story of inspiration of how to love, and how the saints were able to solve many problems in their era, and it was God the one that solved it through the saint. It's like with the yes of the saint, God was able to come to the world in a particular way. And there are many devotions, many promises that God has given to us, like the promise of the Sacred Heart of Jesus or the Immaculate Heart of Mary. There are many of Mary apparitions that are great. We need to follow the approved apparitions, but also Medjugorje apparition is not approved because the apparition is ongoing, but the messages are according to the gospel. And there are many great fruits that has come from Medjugorje. So for me, it was really helpful to read the Medjugorje messages. Are really beautiful, great way to knowing God. And also the spiritual apparitions of God, like the Divine Mercy book, that when God gave these messages to the world, to Sor Faustina, but they're meant for the whole world to read it. The church is so amazing. And of course, it has been so attacked. It's so sad to see many priests that they don't know God in a great way. You know that a really sad thing we're living is that many people, like, they have just become intellectual and are like the Pharisees that have many intellectual, but they don't recognize God. And that's so sad, and we need to pray for the church to be an example of love for the priest and for people in the church, and to help the church in the ways we can. I love San Juan Diego of Mexico, that Virgin Mary includes San Juan Diego as a Catholic to participate, to help in this great project of God to evangelize at the end of the world. So, as members of the church, we could help. We could do catechesis. We could pray for the souls of the purgatory, pray for the church, and offer us to volunteer and to help in the ways that the church needs. Let's help the church. And of course, the church has been so attacked. We need to realize that many priests and many members of the church, we had committed sins, and it's not God's fault, because at the end, making a sin is going against God. But we need to realize that the church is really important, and the church has a heart, is Jesus. So let's love God and realize that God is everything.